Changes are coming. August 17th, it's the big day. It's the big day. It's across the nation that this is happening. Every state, every city, every town, right across the nation. That's when the changes are happening in the real estate market officially. So it's Carol Gillis. It's a Wild Wednesday. So what's going to happen? I'm going to just talk about representing what's going to happen with buyers. You know, buyers definitely need representation. They may think they don't, that they could do it on their own. Good, great, that's fine. But there's a lot of steps involved in what a buyer needs to know and how a buyer needs to negotiate. And here are some of the things that are going to happen that weren't happening in my world for many years. But every buyer and every agent they're working with is going to be creating what's called a buyer-broker agreement. And the buyer-broker agreement will be good for no more than 90 days, 3 months. And it could be less. It will state what the buyer's search criteria is. Are we going to be looking locally? Are we going to be looking in other areas? Are we looking for single-family homes, duplexes, triplexes, condos, townhomes? What are we looking for? So I could be working with a buyer who, once we find out what they could qualify for, which is really a good first step, we could be looking in the South Bay. We could be looking at other parts of LA County. Maybe we want to go into Orange County. Maybe we want to go up to Ventura. Maybe we want to go and just send them down to Riverside or San Bernardino. So are we going to work together in all those counties? We decide. We work together. We talk about it and we decide. That's in my time that we'll be sitting together and talking. So we're going to be talking before we go out looking. And one of the other things is, because we have a contractual relationship, we need to decide what you're going to pay me. I don't work for free. There's different ways that the buyer can pay me. Hi, Carrie. Thanks for watching. There's different ways the buyer can pay me. And one of them is they can pay me a certain percentage off the sales price. Another way is that we request in an offer whether or not maybe the seller will pay me. But that would be a part of the negotiation later on. And sometimes it could be that the seller's agent might be choosing to participate in paying me. All those things are possibilities. In the past, when we looked at our multiple listing from the agent point of view, not the public point of view, but the agent point of view, there was a little icon, a little space there that said S/O, which meant selling office, and it was a selling office fee. So an agent might be seeing 3%, they could be seeing 2.5%, they could be seeing 1.5%, they could be 1%. Now we may be even seeing 0, that the seller is paying 0 to the agent representing the buyer. Now, part of the negotiation on my end in your behalf is to find out if the seller is willing to participate with the buyer in paying my commission. And what do I have to, and what's the buyer going to do? Well, here's the other thing that I found out at a 2.5-hour seminar yesterday, is that let's say the buyer and I decide that they're going to, that I can get a 2.5% commission, that they're going to be willing to pay me 2.5%. And in the negotiation, I find out that the seller is willing to give me 2%. So that means all the buyer's going to give me at the close of escrow is 0.5%. Okay? Now, if we negotiated for 2.5%, and the seller is willing to give me 2.5%, it's a wash. Okay. And if the seller is actually willing to give me more, let's say 3%, but I've already negotiated 2.5% with the buyer, then I can only get 2.5%. So, and then there's the other thing that's a big change is when you're walking down the street, it's Sunday afternoon, you're driving down the street, and you go, oh, honey, stop the car, let's go look at this open house. When you walk to the open house, it's going to be a big stop sign, not exactly, but it'll feel that way. And the agent holding the house open could be the agent representing the seller, could be the agent representing from somebody else in their office. But remember, everybody's every listing is a broker listing. The agent is representing the broker. So in my case, I'm representing Frederick's Realty when I'm doing my open houses. And a buyer, somebody who wants to walk in, we need to ask them, are you already working with another realtor? Have you already signed a buyer broker agreement? Okay, if you have, then your representation is there. You can come in. Here's a flyer. Go for it. If you do not have representation, and you might consider working with me. Hi, Sandra. Nice to see you. Oh my gosh, it's been a while. If you would consider working with me, we do have a form that you can sign that says we have a relationship, or you can sign a form that allows you to basically walk in, and I will be limited to the information I can give you, especially if you said, I don't want to sign anything, I don't want to work with a realtor, I just want to look at the house. So I give you a flyer, don't ask me any questions, I can't answer them. Because we have no fiduciary relationship, we have no legal relationship, and I can't give you any information other than what's on the flyer. So maybe I can answer, yes, the price is X, but don't ask anything else. There it is. I have no relationship with you. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Sandra. So that's something that's going to be a lot different than what we've seen in the past. How many times have you gone past an open house, walked in, walked around, maybe looked at something and said, oh, this is how our house looks, this is how this house looks. You know the conversations. But if you're not going to be able to do that as easily as you've done that in the past. So that's something that everyone's going to have. We're all going to go through some changes. There's going to be a learning curve on both the agent side and the consumer side. And it may take 30 days, may take 60 days. But if you don't want to work, if the buyer is not willing to sign any paperwork and thinking they can go to another realtor, if a realtor says that they won't, theoretically, you don't have to, I'm not going to ask you to sign anything, that agent can actually get fined. So we're not looking to fine them. I'm not. I don't care. I mean, that's something that they need to on their learning curve. But those in my office and myself, we're going to make sure we have proper representation with any potential buyer that's walking in. So all those buyers I've been talking to for the last 5 years, we haven't done this before. We haven't looked at property recently. So now, the next time we go to look at property, before doing that, here's a form that I need for you to sign. So that it's a contract, it's a relationship, it's a time frame on this. We could do a time frame that says, I just want to see this house. There's a 2-week time frame, especially if you're going to write an offer. I want to have that time frame. Yes, so it's a short term. So it's a lot of other changes. So before you go, and so if you're looking to buy, here's the step. Step number 1, check with some realtors. Talk to your friends. Call me. See if we have a little connection. We'll talk a little bit about where you think you want to go. Next step would be to talk to a lender and get fully approved, not just pre-qualified. Get a full approval. That means pull up your credit, pull up your 401ks, check your check your monthly expenses, check out your income, your monthly income, your last 2 years of taxes, work with a lender. There's a lot of first-time home buyer programs out there. There's a lot of interest rates have come down, and we're expecting to see some interest rate go down again in September. And so you're going to see more buyers coming to the market, even though we're going into coming September, October will be in what's called the holiday season. But there are buyers who have been sitting on the side waiting for this time to happen. So, yes, so find your agent, get your lender, or get your lender and they may have an agent that they may refer you to. Either way. And then we have a one-on-one conversation, face-to-face, and we talk a little bit more about the process. And either I'm face-to-face with you in the office, or when we go to, quote, the first choice, I'll have you sign the paperwork. It sounds easy, but we're all learning how to do this, so just bear with us all. Lots of other changes involved in that. One more thing, the most important thing in California, and it may be across the country, I know Florida has had issues with this, is homeowners insurance. And I know last week we had my insurance adjuster talk, but on this case, that's like any repairs, but this is just to get insurance. The cost of insurance has gone up dramatically, exponentially, 30% in a lot of cases. I mean, even my property out of state went up probably 30%, because it went up $700 from what I was paying. And I was paying $8, now I'm paying $15. So, so that's one of the check boxes on the offer form now. It has to do separately for removing the contingency of insurance, because the first thing you need to do as soon as the seller says yes, go talk to an insurance agent. Let's find out what the cost of insurance, because I've heard tell that the cost of insurance has put a lot of buyers in jeopardy, and they haven't been able to get a loan because of that. So if you need a referral on insurance agents, I have some that you can speak with. Your family may have one that they're working with. Let's see who's still selling insurance here in the state of California. A lot of them have left. So anyway, too many ums. So one more thing. If you're local into the South Bay and you didn't get your tickets yet, rush over to torranceroseflow.com. Excuse me, not Torrance Roseflow. I got that on my mind. torrancetheatercompany.com, and get your tickets to see Little Mermaid. It was a wonderful, professional production. You felt like, yes, you were under the sea, you were in the water. The soprano playing Ariel was absolutely beautiful. Hi, Lynn. Oh my gosh. It was absolutely beautiful to listen. The stage design was wonderful, and all the actors were very professional. So go get your tickets. It's this weekend and next weekend. Friday, Saturday. I think Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, or this weekend, and Saturday, and Friday, Saturday next weekend, I think is what the dates are. Anyway, it was a wild Wednesday. Do remember Carol Gillis, Frederick's Realty, 310-864-9738 if you're looking to buy a home this year. Bye.